Welcome to the Midnight Mixer, where every episode feels like you just became best friends with that really cool couple at the bar.
We're your hosts, Liz Nel, and we're bringing you the perfect blend of our favorite music, craft cocktails, and heartfelt advice for all of our listeners.
Grab a drink, sit back, and let's mix it up together.
Now, let's get into this week's episode. Yo.
Welcome back to the Midnight Mixer.
Midnight Mixer.
You was just rapping. I don't know why you changed your whole style up.
I'm still feeling office. With Monica Lewinsky feeling honest.
You gonna have a rap battle?
Rap battle right now?
Yeah.
You don't really want none. I was wearing gray first. She just tried to copy me. Even though you cannot be me.
I don't know why I gotta rap like Eminem.
You do, because that's what it is. 8 Mile.
Even though you cannot be me. If I had 2 arms tied around my back and you had both of your arms, you could still not beat me.
What?
I don't know. I tried to make it work.
What? Okay, check me out.
Oh, shit.
Check me out. Yo.
Uh-huh.
Sitting up on this couch. I'm really trying to figure out why you can't watch your mouth.
Ooh.
And I know without a doubt.
Wait, I'm supposed to be mad.
I said I know without a doubt. I'm the baddest in the South. I can't even get it out.
Bro, I don't know how they be on stage with like the most straightest face and a dude is just yelling and spitting in your face.
Horrible. I can't even say what I want to say. This is the dumbest lie too. Like I can't even get it out.
One day we got to do the reaction to the worst.
Oh, like the worst rap battle lines?
He said, what was it? Doodle bop.
Doodle bop. Let me show you what I do to bop.
This is so stupid. It's so stupid. I'm about to start crying, bro.
Do the bop. We'll see what I do to Bob.
Like, what is he talking about?
He's talking about.
And people in there,
SpongeBob.
Like,
But y'all not hearing him though.
I heard him.
Oh, I heard him.
I heard him. That wasn't it, brother. It wasn't it.
Let's take a sip of our ranch rosé.
Our ranch rosés. And you guys
Yes.
have not checked out our drink tutorial video. Also, welcome to the podcast. We just got started on 10.
Welcome
We
to
just
the
started
mix.
on 10. We made some drink tutorials. This is a mocktail. He has a cocktail. We did a tutorial for both. So
Okay.
we got something for everybody. But grab your glass, whether it's water, hopes, dreams,
Cokes and things.
Coke.
Like Coca-Cola, bro.
Oh.
What did you like?
I was like, dang.
But grab whatever you drinking.
Yeah.
And let's mix it up,
Come
y'all.
chill with us.
Let's mix it up.
So what's going on with you? What's new in the neighborhood?
Come on now. We already know, bro. We not even about to like. We just gonna get straight to it, bro. Joe Biden.
Oh my God.
Dropped out of the race.
It's over.
It's over.
I'm gonna be honest with you. He endorsed Kamala,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't believe it's like super official yet that she's taking his place. I think it still has to kind of go through the Democratic Party and stuff.
But it's kind of like a no-brainer. Like, who else would we go
I'd
with?
vote for a fire ant.
I,
I'm gonna be honest with you. You could put anybody against Trump. I vote for that person. I would.
yeah, facts.
Like,
I don't know. I'm like, I mean, people are the uproar, and especially for it possibly even being Kamala, has already been a bad look. People are talking down on, on Kamala about, she not really for the people, and you think Donald Trump is.
that's my whole point. I'm like, people's fears with Kamala is like, I mean, your fear of her I can understand like maybe
yeah, there's a genuine
there's a genuine uncertainty
when it comes to her.
But I'm like, but y'all are so afraid of what she might turn around and do, but have no issue, no issue at all.
This white man in his toupee.
Donald Trump has had 2 instances now where he has been the direct reason why people have died.
Yeah.
2 instances. His supporters have died.
This man is literally like, oh, I keep knocking into this. He's literally like he's just literally chaos, bro.
Yes.
Like everything that is subjected with him, it always ends into some type of like.
And no one has given me a good logical reason why we should let him back in the White House.
Oh, he not really letting us pay for taxes and all of that, man.
And
if you a business owner, you'd understand.
But a lot of people aren't. And also, he has not done great things for businesses either. Like, because a lot of people that are business owners are middle class. Mm-hmm. And when the taxes get raised, they get raised for the middle class. Mm-hmm. That's why they call it the dying class, because people can't afford to be middle class anymore. Mm-hmm. Either you poor or you rich.
Either poor or rich, yeah.
It's tough out here.
Like the middle class is literally widened to the point where like, I don't even know, bro. Middle class is the new broke, y'all.
Yeah.
You're not making it out here, y'all.
I really personally believe that whatever your views are, Democratic, Republican, whatever, we all have different things that affect our lives. Mm-hmm. I'm not totally like up in arms, I hate Republicans. Mm-hmm. It's just because, a lot of things that they, kind of think of that they value would be more like financial, things of that sort. They want to hold on to their money. I get it. Donald Trump is not a good look for the Republican Party either. I honestly do believe Republicans should also be worried about who they're putting at the forefront of their party.
They're just hoping that they can work through him.
But it's like there's so many Republicans that are like, no, anyone but him.
Loose cannon.
He is a loose cannon. Republicans should be embarrassed that he is the forefront of their party. Mm-hmm. Seriously.
They are, though. And that's what's crazy, too.
Yeah, the ones with sense. Mm-hmm. Like, this man has no couth. And they're like, oh, he tell it how it is. Yeah, and he gonna tell it how it is, the country up into some problems. Yeah. Putin has already declared us as an enemy.
Didn't he get into it with Kim Jong-un, too?
It's too much. It's too much. We gotta look over our shoulder with whatever Trump about to do.
This hoodie is not staying on.
I don't know why you keep trying it either. I don't want to talk about politics too much, but I mean, think it's important to inform yourself. You should inform yourself about what's going on in your country. Yeah. And instead of just making decisions based off of what you see on social media, because one thing that we do as humans is that we will find information that will validate how we feel instead of looking at things cut and dry, black and white. This is how it was during his administration, and this is what he impacted and what he had control over.
We're still recovering.
And I think, yes, when Donald Trump was in office, things were different, but we have to look at the facts that COVID played a huge part in how we operated as a country. Mm-hmm. Things were cheaper because people were not out buying stuff. People weren't out using gas. People weren't out doing a lot of things. Things were very different in COVID because COVID made our lives extremely different. Right. And now we are playing catch up from COVID, and just Biden just so happens to be president during this time. Yeah. I think we need to sit back and get out of our feelings and understand, what did Donald Trump actually do that was impactful? His administration specifically, what did he do that was impactful for the country? And why should we reelect him as president? And I think that is a very important thing that I think a lot of us need to like sit down and consider.
No, it's already considered over here, but
I mean, yeah. And I have considered that, or I have decided that I'd rather just have a different candidate, and I will be voting for Kamala. I would just rather see something different.
Yeah. But
we take our chance with every candidate, so
yeah, it's spooky out here, y'all.
It's getting spooky for sure.
It's spooky, but like you said, just keep a cool head on your shoulders. Like, don't listen to everything that you hear. Do research, y'all. Research,
and we're not trying to do fear mongering, but I do think the state of our country it's important to know where we might be going. It's a
cautionary tale. Like, don't be scared, but it's like at the same time, stuff is happening. a lot of stuff is happening out here, and you know what I mean. And we could potentially, with voting, with like we could potentially help, maybe not completely change it, but avoid it,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean. So, but we're not a politic podcast, so we're not gonna keep going.
But it just so happens to be an election year, so it's just one of those trending topics that you kind of do have to touch on.
Talk about it. But
Yeah.
all right, what else we got?
That's a good question. I don't really be up on the news like that. Oh, there is something that I just saw today though.
What?
That Atlanta is about to get this like that cyber sphere dome thing.
What is it though exactly?
I don't
Is it
know.
just like a entertainment thing.
I think it is. I don't know when we're gonna get it, but that's one of those things. I don't know what it's useful for. Can they like fix these potholes? Like, what are we about to do with this?
Like, yeah, we
editing?
built the dome, everybody. Yeah, we'll
Great.
fix these highways.
My tire
man.
just popped on 285 because of y'all. No.
Boy, yo.
Like, what are we spending money on right now?
It's
This is
killing
not making sense.
me.
They're killing me. Like, they're actually killing me. I can't with this.
Yeah, well, whatever the dome is that they're building in Atlanta, and they're building a dome.
Yeah, I guess we'll have another dome.
Oh,
wherever that's
music
going.
wise, this OVO beef thing is still like a thing. This Kendrick, it's still this underlying thing that's been in hip hop now. But apparently he's playing his politics card and got TDE member Schoolboy Q made him cancel his show in Toronto.
What?
Yeah, like he because Drake has like his fingers in a lot of pies, I guess to say. So I guess whatever, not promotion company, but whatever was the venue, who's ever over
Yeah.
the venue, he has like money within that, and did
That's
not let
crazy.
Schoolboy Q. Apparently when he got there was cops out there. It was like, yeah, like, and it was like, you can't come in here, you can't perform here.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Yes,
This
bro.
is real life.
This is
I gotta
real
look this
life.
up. Hold on.
Look at-
Not that I don't believe you, but like,
no,
I
like
need to
seriously. So
know.
that's been a thing. And apparently Drake is doing like, he's just doing his kind of like he's using his power. He's kind of strong arming.
on.
Yeah, he got niggas in a headlock. Like,
Are you
yeah,
serious?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm about to look this up because no way.
Yeah, so it's like there's still hints to like, people are just like, we don't know what's going on, but behind the scenes there's still a lot of beef going on apparently.
Wow. So TDE rapper Schoolboy Q believes the opening night of his Blue Lips weekend tour, an 18-date trek in support of his 6th studio LP in Toronto, was purposely canceled due to his allegiance to Kendrick Lamar and his public battle with Drake. This is on Variety.com. So.
Dude said, yo, so y'all want to perform? Y'all want to OVO?
Wow.
OVO? Okay.
Wow.
Drake is an anime villain. We were right.
I
Drake
mean,
is an
that's the thing,
anime
is like,
villain, y'all.
let's be honest. Like Drake, even though I truly do believe he lost the beef, he is still not to be played with.
No.
He's still very much like
got money. Money is power.
lots of money.
Power is money.
He got lots of it.
And he has a lot of ties, a lot of so yeah, I heard they going, it's just a lot of underlying things going on. We'll see what happens though. But
That's crazy. That's gonna like impact a lot of things when it comes to just music in general, because a lot of people picked a side.
a lot of people picked a side. Apparently, he was like posted up with 50 Cent too, so I guess that's his
Drake,
allegiance.
many men wish death upon me.
Yeah, he got 50. He was. It's almost, I don't know. People be paying attention to like the small stuff, so I guess that was like his way of like, because I guess 50 and Rick Ross been beefing for a minute too, so that's kind of like him. But him doing his allegiance, but it's like more than Kendrick. He's just like he's strong arming a lot of people that went against him. He's strong arming them.
That's crazy.
He doing what he doing, bro.
He doing what he doing for sure.
So I kind of have this. I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over. I wouldn't be surprised if we'll be sitting on this couch maybe not reviewing another disc, but we're gonna be reviewing
Things are
something.
happening.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's
Dang.
been happening. Even though we didn't talk about it too much, but it was like even the OVO XO beef that they got going on
Right.
in Toronto.
Right.
It's so they got the fight for Toronto, and then America versus Toronto, or the West versus Toronto. It's a big
I don't got
thing.
no issue with Toronto.
Oh,
I just
we
think
not
Drake
from the
lost the
West.
beef.
I just think Drake lost the beef, bro. And that's it. I don't
I
understand.
mean,
They not like us. They not like us. But that's what's been going on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And you guys will be hearing it from us first too when it does happen. So.
yes, you will. Sheesh.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's not over.
It's definitely not over. Well, I guess on that note,
Take a break.
we're going to take a little breaky break. We're going to be back with some heavy, deep convo. What are you saying? Look, it is, I believe it is Black Mental Health Month. Did I just make that up? Yeah, it is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And I think we need to talk about some stuff that's going to work on our healing. Okay, we gotta talk about some stuff. So
we're gonna talk about
we'll
it.
take a little breaky break and we'll be back to dive deep. Yeah, top off those drinks. We'll be back.
Yeah, because I need another sip.
We back. I hope you enjoyed our word from our sponsor, if we have one. If not, it was like a 2-second break. Yeah. So there's some things that I think we should probably address as a Black community.
Yeah. So like, I don't know what's been happening with your TikTok or her algorithm, but like,
Everybody been pissing me off.
yeah,
But that's neither here nor there.
a lot of conversations about, you know, Black culture and when it comes to love and raising a family and what that looks like and what it should look like. So
Yeah.
another one of those Black sex wars, Black culture things. We'll get to it.
I've been coming across a bunch of like creators going live. And it's like one video would be like, men are useless. And another video was like, women don't deserve rights. And it's
Men
like,
are the prize.
like it's so extreme.
Insufferable. That's what
And
it
I
is.
can't handle it. And I know I keep getting them because I keep interacting with them to tell everyone that they're
I
stupid.
literally look at her and be like, why are you doing
Because they're
this?
stupid. But there was this one video, and I wish if I can find the creator's name, I'll insert her. Ooh, excuse me, I'm a little bubbly. If I can find the creator's name, of course I will insert her information on the video and in the caption, and the description and stuff, because she's the reason why we're kind of talking about this today. But she was having a conversation with, I want to assume, like her friend or her sister or somebody. They were like having a picnic, and I assumed they were talking to somebody else off camera. I think it was a guy.
Yeah.
And based off of how the conversation kind of sounded like it was at, he was talking about how Black women essentially aren't the type of women that he chooses to date, and he prefers to date white women
Or go out the country.
or go out the
What was that?
country, the passport bros
Something,
situation.
Yeah.
But Black women's not his first choice.
Yeah.
And she, I believe, was bringing up a few points from like a book she was reading and things like that. But she was just like,
Now you want
Now
to
you
make,
wanna make some ice?
big bro. Which, check out our video.
that just blew my whole train of thought. But she was basically saying that, so he was saying like he prefers
Yeah. White women. Yeah.
whatever. And she's just like, white people have structure. White people, their traditional looks very different than what our traditional looks like. Like, white women don't go out and date and expect money for men and for men to take care of certain stuff, because they have generations of men who will take care of that for them. Versus Black women, our normal is that a lot of us didn't have our fathers in our lives. and then our fathers didn't have their fathers in their lives.
And add into like he was talking about like, oh, like, you know, men would go out to the country. We've been also hearing this on the lives too, of guys being like, yeah, we'll go out of country because I'd rather date a Hispanic woman, or you go out into Africa and because I need a traditional woman. I need a woman that's not going to go out, and I need a woman that's not going to do bop 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 this, that, and the third, you know. And he was also making the point of the old tired ass black women are too independent. They, you know, they work and they doing all of this. And she was also saying like, from where we come from, we have to.
You have to.
You know what I mean?
Dr.
Like,
Umar, which I hate to quote him on this podcast, but he also made the point that black women have to be this strong and this independent and support themselves and their kids because they have to.
And at some point, when do you stop blaming black women for being strong and blaming yourself as a man for not being there for that woman?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it was. And that's what she was also saying. Like,
yeah,
the majority of white women have the privilege to kind of sit back and not do anything.
Yeah.
They have
that support.
That traditional lifestyle was never, and we started having this conversation, and that's when we kind of moved on to like that lifestyle, that traditional lifestyle that men talk about. That's not made for us. Not within the American dream, that American dream that everybody fancies for. It was not made for black people. That's just, and it's a fact. You can look it up. Like there were laws that were in place that we could not live that lifestyle, right? So now moving forward, it's like we have these broken homes due to, you know, obvious things, the crack epidemic, things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, choices that were made that weren't the best, you know, choices. Obviously, not a lot of black fathers are in, you know, lives like that. And so it's like, bro, this is where we're coming from.
Traditional is so different based off of what culture you're speaking from. And when it comes to black American culture, and this is what I said yesterday, our traditional is dysfunctional. Like our normal, and my therapist, we talked a little bit about today, where it was like normal doesn't always mean good. Like your normal is just what you're used to. And our traditional and our normal and our black community is dysfunction because, and you talked about it just now a little bit, but like black men either leave their family, black men leave their families, and a lot of times it's not their choice. Like traditionally, black men have been locked up for stuff that they did not do.
And a lot of times it is their choice. But
that's what I'm saying. Like we're fighting a lot of battles with why black men aren't present. Like they're not present because of their choice. They're also not present because of false arrests or police brutality. They're killed, or gun violence and gang violence. They're killed. They're taken from their families. The drug problems, like crack, being presented into black communities in the 80s affected
trying to provide for your family.
You know what I mean?
Those was arrested for weed, and now weed is selling cannabis is $1 million.
Exactly. Black men are targeted, and black men have also made the choice to just leave and decide that they don't want the responsibility. But I think a lot of black men, when they leave and decide they don't want the responsibility, is because that's the behavior that was modeled to them as children. They don't realize that I really need to like take care of these little kids that I just helped bring into the world, and take care of this woman that I decided to make children with because that was a sacred thing that we just did.
And we talked about it too, where we were like, I think this is the first time we're in a generation now where we have, especially like, you know, people that are like a few years older than us, or even us too. I know a lot of first generation college students, now we're like first generation. What did you made a point, first generation of like having like,
we are like either first or second generation, like we are experiencing like the first or second generation of people who have experienced healthy love.
Healthy love.
I really believe that
love.
because a lot of us don't have parents who, like my parents are not together. And I feel like that is normal for a lot of people that you meet.
And
a lot of young black people that you meet, their parents are not together anymore.
And you know, not to throw my business out, but my parents are together. And even I know living through, you know, going through high school, going through college, and talking about, people kind of low-key looked at me sideways, where I have like a lot of baby pictures of me with my mom and stuff, and then somebody like assumed that I didn't have a dad 'cause
Yeah.
my pops just don't like taking pictures like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, I got my dad. Or because I have my dad, that my life obviously couldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
I've had that. And so, yeah, it's sadly, it is a norm. We have a lot of broken families, a lot of broken homes, a lot of black children that don't even actually grow up with their moms too. Like,
Yeah.
we have a lot of broken homes. So our traditional, like you said, is dysfunctional. We do not have that. So when we hear these lives of dudes talking about, well, what you bring to the table, are you a traditional woman?
What does traditional
What is
look
traditional?
like?
What does traditional ever look like? And I'm not speaking for the black people that, out of the country, specifically African Americans. What is traditional to us? And I would like to see it in the comments, you know what I mean? Comment and let us know, like, what is traditional for us? What does traditional look like in a black community, in an African American community? Because I'll be honest, I don't know it. I don't see it. We're never traditional on a white American terms. You have a housewife, you go and you work. Black men were never able to get those high paying jobs to have your wife even sit at home and kick it up like
she
that.
had to go get a job too to support these
And
kids.
so you're looking at it like women are so independent, but she was raising them kids by herself. Then you look at her like, why is she so independent, bro? Because she had to get this job. Black women are the highest educated within our community, and y'all niggas look at that like sideways instead of being proud. That's what get me. Niggas look at that like it's an insecurity. Like, oh, I can't talk to her because she got her own, because she moving. Bro, show her why she needs you.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, well, what do you bring to the table, sir? What do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's vice versa. I'm not picking no side, but it's vice versa. I don't believe in these gender wars. I believe that we're not even in a position to have gender wars.
Yeah.
We
still
already coming from
crawling-
broken homes,
Yeah.
so let's fix it. Why are we continuing to break it?
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, we're still crawling out of these generational curses that were put onto us. So our generation now, like millennials and Gen Z, we're the ones that are sitting down breaking these curses in our family, breaking these cycles. Like, the thing that I hear people become the most obsessed with now is generational wealth.
We didn't even know what that was 10 years ago.
I'm gonna be so honest with you, and I'm going to break this down for the people listening who are so obsessed with creating generational wealth. And I hope that maybe this brings you some sort of peace. You alone cannot create generational wealth for your
Because it's
family.
generational.
Yeah.
It takes generations.
We are putting
to
too
build
much
wealth.
responsibility on us to create a completely different outcome for our families, when really the thing that we should be the most focused on is healing and building. That's really what we should be most focused on. Yes, get your money, get to your bag, build your businesses, do whatever you got to do, but stop putting so much pressure on yourself for being like, I have to create a completely different outcome. You can't fix everything on your own, but what we can do is work together to make sure we have an understanding that it is so much bigger than what we think.
Right.
We are fighting centuries
Right.
of oppression, centuries of cycles that have affected our black families over and over and over again. We have grandparents that are still alive, mind you, that were experiencing discrimination, that experienced financial insecurity, that experienced, well, granddaddy got another family on the side of town, but I never said anything because that's just how things were.
It's so true.
We are breaking, those people are still alive.
It's crazy.
And we think that we can sit down and be like, oh,
And
I
we can
want
just-
something traditional. This is traditional.
It's traditional. It's always been traditional.
This is what it is.
It's always
we
been
don't want traditional. We want to change something that's beneficial to the black community, and we cannot compare ourselves to other cultures and other communities because that's not our reality.
It's not our
We
reality.
can't do as white people do. Because how white people do, that was never our path. We never lived that
They
life.
never wanted it for us. It was never meant for us. So that, like, bro, it's like, oh my gosh, bro. It just it pisses me off. It really makes me
We
mad.
have to sit down and unlearn these things that we believe to be true about the black community. Do I think that we are capable of having secure, like stable households that are healthy and loving? Of
Because we
course.
build them.
Of course.
They're there. We have examples of it being there. I have my parents as an example. Like they went through a lot growing up, and even still, you wouldn't say it's traditional because maybe they had me young or whatever. But even then, through them growing, they and raising me and raising themselves, they made a way. They made a way. I know I have cousins. I have people like within our generation right now. Shoot, like shout out to my cousin. Like she's literally built a whole franchise off of a healthy black family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And showing what it's like. It's so we're not doomed. You know what I mean? But I do think that we're suffering from the social media effect of everyone is able to have a platform. And we're not the smartest people. We're not always right. But God dang it, are we not going to say no stupid-ish like,
Yeah.
what are you bringing to the table?
Like,
are you a traditional woman? We're not
the
taught. Like, who
prize.
cares? Who cares?
we think about
I'd rather
things too
date.
surface level.
It's so surface level.
Like this whole prize stuff, this whole relationships are not a game. So I don't believe in prizes.
I don't believe in prizes. Relationships are not a game. I don't believe in. That's fire.
Okay. My whole thing with how all of this is gonna, with our relationship and how I believe relationships, especially in the Black community, because it's unique to us. We have a very unique experience than any other community. Every community is different. Every culture is different. I'm not comparing about what Becky and John is doing down the street. Because that's not my relationship. And we didn't live those lives. I have so many things that I'm continuing to unlearn for myself, for the relationship I have with myself, for the relationship I have with others. So many things I have to unlearn. So many things that I thought my concept of love was correct when it wasn't. And we come from two completely different households where I didn't grow up around a healthy relationship, as an example. And it has manifested itself into a crazy amount of anxiety that I have all the time, and I'm working on. But I think because we come from such different backgrounds, and there is not one thing that is normal. Like, how can I put it? Like, we don't have an example in the Black community where it's like, I'm not the outlier, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
My experience that I had growing up, I'm not the outlier.
Right.
There's actually, I believe, like, you might be the
outlier. Exactly. That was good. It's facts. It's sad, but it's
so
facts.
when we date other people and realize they didn't experience a healthy love like how I did, because my parents might have been the first generation of people who decided, hey, we're going to do love a little bit differently in this household and break some curses. Yeah, you're going to run into some issues with your relationships because we don't know the same thing. But when we compare ourselves to white people
who had generations,
and of course white people have their own issues,
and
but they have more stability.
It's like, you also have to say these things with the idea that me and you on a couch, we're still the minority in this world. We're still the minority in this country, I should say. And so, yeah, not every white person has it good. Not every white person has generations of wealth. But majority, the normal, the moderate, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When you think of the white community, you think of that white
there's
picket
TV
fence,
shows. There's
two kids,
when you
a
think
dog.
of the American dream, you think of a white family. So when you think of the American dream, that is what we have the examples of. There are constant TV shows. Bro, what? We just got Blackish. We had, what, My Wife and Kids? We had, like, I can name, you know what I mean? Like, I could probably write a list out of, like, examples that we had on TV just through entertainment alone. And that's not enough. That's not enough. It's not a lot.
But when we think about Black entertainment just in general and what is portrayed as this is the Black
it's
narrative,
dysfunctional.
it's always dysfunction.
You got Tyler Perry always constantly, if it's a Black family on TV, they're getting divorced, they're getting cheated on, they're getting beat, they're getting abused. That is the norm. That is the traditional.
Yeah. And we think that we see things, or we say things now on social media where it's like a woman just needs to be submissive and bow down and do whatever her husband says because that's her husband. He's the king of the household. There's this one guy. Ooh, I can't think of his name. I think it's like Yeba Awakening or something like that. But he always talks about traditional love. And every time I see one of his videos like kind of pop up, like him being interviewed or something, I'm always just like, he is who I believe a lot of men think they are. But the way that he like presents himself, like he'll talk about his wife, and he's like, I don't care what she brings to the table, and I don't care if like women just want me for my money. I want them to want me for my money because I want to be able to provide.
Right.
Like I want you to want me to provide. Like he speaks solely as a traditional man, which of course would be very appealing to a lot of women. But he also just says like, this is just what I believe. A husband is also to be his wife's piece as well. And if you want to live a traditional lifestyle, you can't just expect a woman to submit to you and you have her doing all of these things.
Give her reasons to submit.
Like she has to trust you. She has to be able to trust that you're not going to like lead y'all household in shambles.
But that's what submitting is too. Like that's the main definition of submitting.
And he articulates himself very well. And I think a lot of men, when they talk about their traditional stuff, I think that's who they think they are. But in reality, they might be able to pay all the bills and their wife don't work and none of that stuff. And I don't know what this man does when he's actually at home.
But based off of what he says, what he portrays,
he has an immense amount of respect for his wife. These men don't, the ones that we see on social media typically don't have respect for the women that they're with. It's just like, you do as I say because you're the woman I decided to pick and blah blah blah. It's very misogynistic. It is extremely degrading the way they talk about women, the way they talk to women. You've seen the podcast, the way they talk to these girls and be like, I'm a high value man. And high value men don't have to portray them or explain themselves like that.
High value men aren't saying they're high value. It's just not.
It just is what it is.
And I've heard it in passing of like, they don't want men like this anymore. He said they don't, I got a beard. I got the gray coming out the mustache, and they don't want a real man like that no more. They want these sissified boys. They want these sissified boys. They want, like, bro, what are you talking about, man? It's weird. More than, and still, I don't know if I'm being a little too vulnerable or open, whatever, but I'm not at a point where I can provide for you 100% and have you submit to me. I would never, ever ask you to even submit to me in any type of way, even if I had it, right? But one thing that we do, and I guess this goes back to that 50-50, one thing that we do is like, I'll make sure that I'm there for you in the ways that I can be there for you, though. And I think that's what we also fail to realize. Like when I hear that dude, what did you say, Yerba?
I can't think of his name.
We'll find his name. But is he also talks about not just providing, though.
It's not just a financial thing.
It's not just a financial thing. Even if I was to 100% take all the bills and we had kids or something, and you're dealing with the kids all day, and and you are a housewife, and I'm still going to work, and I come home and I just drop it on you.
Yeah, because being a housewife and being a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job.
And it's a full-time job, and I just drop everything on you.
Yeah.
I don't. What was it? That's what it was too. I come home after a long day of work, and you cook, and you're not gonna make my plate. Bro, I see she's tired. I see these kids running around the house. Man, if she cooked for me, and if I don't walk my ass in that kitchen and get a spoon and put it on the plate, that's what y'all are worried about. That's what gets me.
Like, I have no issue serving you your food if I cooked, whatever. But I think we talked about this a little bit before. Is like, respect goes a long way. I know you're gonna be like so grateful that I cooked and did this stuff, like even after working all day, because that's just who you are as a person. But also, you're not gonna sit here and just watch me cook. You'll also you'll get up and clean some stuff. You'll be helpful for our nighttime routine. You're not just gonna watch me do everything. So like, if I'm home and I'm just focused on cooking and you handle the other stuff, then I'm not gonna feel as overwhelmed. And I think that's what the guy was saying. Like, providing is more than financial. Like, you also have to provide a peace of mind.
A peace of mind, yeah. That's beautiful.
Like,
beautiful.
it is so much more than just being like, I run this and I do this and you do as I say. No, you also have to
Cause I got a penis.
like,
Cause I got an XY chromosome. You gotta listen
because
to
a
me.
man's home
that's what
is
the
his,
Bible
is his
says.
castle and he's the king.
Yeah,
okay,
the
but
Bible
what about
also
your
says,
queen?
and that's what kills me too. Everybody loves to bring up the Bible, and I'm gonna ruffle some feathers up. But the Bible also tells you to be there for your woman. And that,
Yeah.
and I always forget but it's literally right. They always cut that verse off right before it gets to what the man is supposed to do for his wife.
Yeah.
They always cut it off short. Well, a woman's supposed to submit, but the Bible also says you're supposed to give her a reason to.
Yeah. Not every man is worthy of submitting
Come
to.
on.
If every man was worthy of submitting to, what is the point of picking? We would just find the first dude that we see on the street and just, all right. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. Yeah, y'all. Ranch water rose on me. I'm drunk.
No, he is not. What in the world are you?
I'm drunk.
Look, I know we just kind of gave a mouthful, but I think it is worth just exploring, looking at Black love and Black relationships just in a different lens, in a different way, because we put so much pressure to be who we're not. Like, stop comparing ourselves to other people and other cultures and other races when we're not them, and instead meet people where they're at.
Because with change, and this is my last little whatever, but with change comes the action of looking inward. And I love who you love. If you want to date a white woman, date a white woman. You want to date whoever you want, love whoever you want. That's even if it, not a woman, whatever. Date who you want to date. But at the same time, you have to look inward in yourself when there's a problem. And I also believe that means looking inward into our culture. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not going to go out to another culture looking for answers as to why my Black woman isn't treating me right.
Yeah.
And why this other rate, like, to me, that's not where you'll get the answers. That's actually that you're running away from the answer instead of looking inward, looking, you know what I mean, to our history and what we came from and how we, you know what I mean. And that, like you said, maybe I didn't have the best example growing up. Yeah. And even if I did have the best example or a good example, maybe it wasn't the best example of growing up. You know what I mean? Like, even like I do have two parents in my life, and you know what I mean? They didn't do everything perfect. So there are things that, you know what I mean, that we can learn. And I think that's just what it is, looking inward and looking inward to the culture. Yeah. So I think we, got to stop being so hard on each other.
We do. And I know we speak very like heteronormatively because like that's how our relationship looks. But this applies to any type of Black love. Literally. No matter who you are. I think we just need to decide like, hey. Even
if we get in the same sex marriage, that's a big thing within the Black community too. That's even deeper, if not worse, you know what I mean, of having to unpack.
It's a lot of layers and a lot of things to unlearn. But I think we just need to be softer with ourselves and with the people in our community. We need to like break down these things and unlearn these things and rebuild in a healthier way without tearing each other down. Facts. And doing these useless TikTok lives.
Facts. Instead of arguing, bro.
Over here talking about some orangutans leave their children at 8 years old.
That's why I don't need to. Orangutans leave their children at 8 years old. That's why I don't need to be in my child's life. You're comparing us to orangutans?
Like, brother.
Orangutans?
There ain't no reasoning with crazy. That's what my mama be saying.
You comparing us to orangutans, brother? I don't know what your account name is. How much time I got left? 3 minutes. I don't know what your account name is or whoever was comparing us to motherfucking orangutans. But you delete that TikTok. It's the ranch water that's talking now. It's not me. It's not Nell. It's the ranch water. Delete that. Orangutans. I should whoop your motherfucking ass, man. Orangutans. What? That shit kills me every time I think about that video, bro. I hate that man. Orangutans also throw their poop. Like,
well,
that's the mix, man.
I could have said it better myself. Thanks for tuning in to the Midnight Mixer.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
Stay in the mix. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, and all podcast audio platforms as the Midnight Mixer.
Looking for more? Check out all the other episodes and content wherever you're tuning in from.
Until next time.